Welcome back, everyone. I'm Timekeeper, and it's good to see you guys again. On today's episode, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I managed to save 10 grand in the span of 3 months. Originally, my plan was to save 20 grand in the span of 3 months. I did not make it. I completely underestimated how difficult this was going to be, but I did manage to do half, so I got halfway. The goal was to see if I could manage to do it before the year ended back in 2024. Now, I don't really know much about editing or anything like that, so I'm just gonna do a full on. I'm just gonna talk about it. I don't really know what else to tell you guys. So back when I started doing this, it was back in, I'd have to say, early October. I was working my usual job as an installer. I was running the numbers. I'm like, it might be possible for me to save 20 grand. I know for sure. I knew for sure I could do 10 if I was just really diligent. But 20 was the original goal because it just seemed so far out of reach. I didn't know if I could do it or not. So I decided I'm just going to give it a shot, see if I can hit it. Whether or not I made it didn't matter. I just wanted to give it my best shot. So here's what I did. I ran all my numbers. I checked all my credit cards, all the credit card debt. I checked how much money came in at the end of every month, at the end of every week. I checked how much I had at the time, and I started running my numbers. At the very end of it, I realized I needed to earn, or I needed to save, not earn, save about 1,250 or 1,500 every week until the end of December. Mind you, it is October when I decided to do this, early October. So, how did I manage to do that? I decided to cut back on everything that I could. I cut back on all of my subscriptions, cut back on buying any type of clothing, any events. I was gone. I was a ghost. I disappeared for everything. Going out with my girlfriend, I tried to keep it as minimal as possible. Not to say that I was cheap, it's just to say that I had a goal to get to. No one knew this. It was just all in my own. This is just all me in the background trying to get this done. So I cut back all of my subscriptions. That's one thing. I cut back everything. The second thing I did was how much was I bringing in every single week? I was bringing in, I'd have to say, 6 to 800 a week at the time, right? So what I did was, because of my job, I could go out and receive contracts to go install flooring and other materials in these different types of jobs. I'm not going to get too descriptive on it. I went out and I started looking for more work. I decided I'm going to take on more jobs for more time throughout the week. So every day I was tackling at least 2 jobs, 3 jobs a day, trying to get as much as I could out of them on a completely different company, working for 3 other people just to get to that goal of 1,500 every week or 1,250. It was difficult, but to get to 20 grand at the end of the year, you need the challenge. So I did that, and every time I would get paid, I would just pay for the bills, set a little bit of money aside for what I had to do for taking the girl out on a date or to go eat just a little bit. But everything else, straight to savings. It did not leave my savings account. Nothing got touched. Nothing. Every time I managed to save 1,200 or 1,000 something, or 600, 800 bucks before the week ended or by the week, it would go into the bank account, into the savings account, sit there. The moment I hit 5 grand, I knew I was onto something, and it got me really excited. But it was so difficult just watching the money go up and up. I mean, I wanted to spend it. I wanted to use it for something. I worked hard to have it, but I knew that wasn't the goal. By the end of November, that's when I knew that it wasn't happening. By the end of November, I managed to hit the $10,000. That's good, yeah, because I hit 10 grand. I saved 10 grand. Problem is, I didn't save 20. We get to the start of December, because it's the end of the year and because of the holidays and everything slowed down, and I didn't anticipate it. I did not realize that by entering the holiday period, everything was going to be slowed. Work was slow, everything was slow. I could not find enough work to cover the other 10. Technically, I needed 7 grand to do it. But regardless, it doesn't matter because I didn't hit 20. I'm happy that I managed to save 10, but I'm disappointed that I didn't hit 20. I'm very fortunate that I managed to get there, but I wish that I had understood but my budgeting, that I understood my budget, and that I understood how I could make it with just a bunch of foresight and calculations and just keeping a sharp eye on my budget and making sure that I am on track. And now that I've done this and now that I've seen how it's possible, it's exciting. It's exciting because now now I know that I can do it. And depending on how the season works, because for my line of work, there's a time where the work is high and there's a time where the work is low. Right now we're in the low season, but at least now I know I can do it, and I can do it again. I can do it again, and that's what gets exciting about it. For me, my lessons were to learn, or no, to focus in on the future, how far and how long it would take. I thought that I could do it in 3, but no, I think I might have needed 6 if I was still in my peak season. And I'm not saying this video to brag, I'm just saying that it's possible that you can do it. You just need to be very vigilant. You need to be very watchful over your budget, over your numbers, over everything that's going on. Cut back on everything that you don't need, all the waste. Stop spending on junk and crap that you don't need. But the biggest thing is just get more money, go get another job, go work more hours, find a way to make more money. That is the only way that I was able to make it. Had I just stayed doing what I was doing and not started applying to other companies to see if I could get more contracts, I would not have made it to even 10 or 5. I would not have saved anything at the end of the year. I would have just stayed where I was. But because I decided to change it and because I decided to run my numbers to see how long it would take and what I needed to get to that point, everything changed. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, I'm just, I can't believe it, honestly, that I made it to 10. And that had things been different, I would have made it to 7. If I had known this back in August, I would have for sure had the 20 because my season was still at its peak then. Now it's at its slowest point, so my time is completely off in every company. And because of the economic situation that we're in, everything is a mess. So I guess we'll see how things go. But for anyone who is planning to do this, who is planning to save their first 5 or 10 grand or even 1,000, run your numbers as much and as often as possible and understand how everything works with your system. They really are your whole lifeline. It really is what tells you whether you're going to do it or not. And it's just changing. It's a complete game changer knowing how your numbers go, where you're spending your money, where you're wasting it, where it's actually going in and putting the work in. Alrighty, guys, I've gone on long enough. Good luck. I hope that whoever decides to, if you're watching this and you're deciding that you want to try and save your first 5 or 10, go for it. It's a huge game changer. I have been extremely calm ever since I saved my first 10. And now that I know I can do it again and again and again, and I understand what I have to do and how hard I have to push myself to get it, it's exciting. Because if you understand how well your budgeting is, you can probably aim for more, not just 10, maybe 20, 30, or 40, depending on your situation, depending on work, depending on all these things. But you know what your situation is like that. I don't know. But once you understand a bit more, you can see how quickly you can do it depending. And I know the situations change, you know. Oh, I got a flat tire, I need a new tire, or the house is leaking or something, I don't know. But that's also why your budget should be very adaptable to whatever the heck it is that goes on. Whether it's taking care of emergencies or life changing events, it should be flexible for these things. But, anyways, that's my spiel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll answer your questions as quickly as I can. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this type of content, let me know. I think it's fun talking about numbers and finance and everything. But this is one of my first videos doing it. All the other ones are about watches or reviews and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And well, yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your days. Thanks, guys. Bye.